Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're delighted you're here. And we broadcast 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. And if you'd like to call in, we'd love to hear from you. We'll even pay for the call. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. There's a link to your instructors on the website, usaprepares.com, usaprepares.com. Nathan is engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. I just love chatting with Nathan before the broadcast. He's a lot of fun, and he's a great engineer. So thank you so much, Nathan, for being side by side today. We've got a great broadcast lined up for today. Hour number 1, Sharon in Montana. We're going to be talking about, okay, what's it going to take? What is it going to take to survive? Part of it's mindset. And hour number 2, Kurt Wilson, the Armchair Survivalist. So hour number 1 starts right now. Welcome, Sharon in Montana. Thank you so much for being with us.
I talked to your wife last night. She's very, very nice. I really like her.
You think so?
Yeah, she's a very nice lady.
Well, you know, I was at a meetup, and I asked Mrs. Finelli if she would call you and just make sure everything is aligned for the broadcast this morning. And she said, I really like Sharon. So now, normally, Mrs. Finelli does not like to make these calls, and she doesn't like being on the phone, so normally I do these things. But she likes you, and she talks to a number of the instructors. But generally, she's in the background, and
yeah.
So that's kind of how it goes. And we wear a lot of hats here at the farm, and we're glad to do that. So Sharon, here's what happened. I'd like to share this with the class. I got a call from you, and you said, it would be a really good broadcast, a class. We could talk about survival and the mindset and, just getting down to it. Actually doing it rather than thinking that, no, I don't know, that's kind of hard. Whatever it is. Planting a garden, that's too hard. Thinking about planting a garden, that's, too hard as well. Now, we can read about it on the internet. Yeah, that's okay. But actually doing it, no, that's too hard. And you're absolutely right. It is about mindset. And in that line of thinking, I'd like to share a short story with you. We were out in the backyard, Mrs. Finelli, our son, and I, my mom, and we decided that what we really needed to get done was that strawberry, that raised bed strawberry garden. And we were just exhausted. It was the end of the day, and it meant moving, maybe close to 1,000 pounds of concrete blocks. It's like, oh, man. It's too hard. It's late. We're exhausted. Okay, let's do it. and that's what happened, and within, maybe an hour and a half, we got it banged out, got the blocks lined up, filled them with the dirt, didn't rototill in the mulch, but, we got it almost done, and that's what it takes. And I think that's what you're trying to say. Is that right?
Yeah, to a great point. I kind of look at it that we have basically survivor's mentality, or you have the sheeple mentality, or the wannabe survivor mentality. And the sheeple are like, just take care of me. I pay my taxes. The government wants to take care of me, and I don't have to worry about anything. I actually have a distant relative who lives near a high school, and they live in Alaska. And she says, oh, we don't have to worry anything if there's an earthquake. They've got all kinds of food stocked right over at this high school, and we can just walk over there. I'm thinking, I wouldn't want to be with, 1,000 strangers like that. But anyway, that's the kind of sheeple mentality. And then there's the wannabe survivors who read, and they read, and they read, which is really good to know something, but they've never done it. And like I mentioned to your wife, you can get a new tent and you decide to go camping and you've never set it up. Mind you, you get out there and it starts pouring down rain and suddenly you try to set up the tent. Now, if you're fortunate, it's going to go really easy, but usually it doesn't, and you're trying to read the instructions and it's just miserable. So having the head knowledge and not actually doing it is not a good situation. Kind of like people say, well, I know how to ride a bike. Well, I don't know anybody who got on a bike the first time and rode it perfectly, or even starting a fire, like with wood. There's a little bit of a learning curve there. And so wannabe survivors just read about it. Okay, they don't really do anything. But survivors, the attitude is they can do it, and they actually do it. So they say, hey, I think I'm going to learn how to get a fire, and they go grab some wood, and they start making it. Or, they plan ahead. They don't just think about it. They actually do it. And they don't say, I can't. Very often. I've heard so many people, well, I can't store up food. I don't know what to get, and then I don't have any space, or I don't have any money, and it's kind of like a poor, helpless me, and I'm not much into that, you can tell. I think that words are very, very powerful, and you can say, I can't, or you can say, how can I? And I believe that the survivor thinks, how can I make this work? Like, we wish to make some raised beds, and we made this move, and we try to deal cash and not be in debt, and so we really didn't have the money to put in these raised beds. So we thought, well, how can we do it? I mean, the best way, by buying good lumber and all that. And my husband looked around, and we found some good 2x8s and 2x10s, and by combining them and slicing them and building, we have some really nice raised beds, and they don't look bad, because we figured out how can we do this, as opposed to, well, we can't because we don't have the money. You know what I mean? And so my thinking was, if we want to kind of kick around the idea of how you can do what you think you can't do, okay? Now, I realize I am not, honestly, I cannot run 2 miles, okay? I mean, I would probably die trying, but I can't do it, okay? But I sure could walk 2 miles. So a lot of it is breaking it down into pieces that you actually can do, and I don't care how many health issues or restrictions you have, there actually are things you can do. You think in the old times, I'm very fascinated with the whole survival thing and then how people used to do it. Even elderly people used to do things like herbs and tinctures, or watch the children, or maybe cook a meal. People used to always have a function and a purpose. And nowadays we have this, if I can't get the perfect thing, it can't be done. So that's kind of my little just today, if you want. And I could kind of walk through some ideas.
Yeah.
Also the other thing about, what I think is some of the attitude that I think, I kind of wrote down some of my little mantras. One is adjust, adapt, and overcome. So we've dealt with a lot of, struggles. I mean, we've had, my husband's tore up his back seriously, like ligaments torn twice, and we've had a house fire, and he has autoimmune disease, and we've had, the car wrecks, washers break down, that kind of stuff, life. But the idea is that you adjust, adapt, or overcome. And also I kind of say, never say die. And then also, where there's a will, there's usually a way. And that is really true. If you just think, now, how can I make this work? No, I can't buy a year's worth of food, but I could go buy 10 cans of something. You know what I'm saying? So I think that people really can do more. They just either need direction or just need to take that first step. So
points are very well made. I was talking to our sister-in-law, or my sister-in-law, and she was visiting for about a week here at the farm, and she lives out of state, so it's about a 16-hour ride for her to come visit us, and it was great to have her here, and she wanted to hop on the lawnmower and mow the lawn, so. We had this 12-year-old Cub Cadet little riding tractor that was my dad's. And So she got on it, and, we pumped up the tires, and everything was good and started up. But before we did that, we had to put a new fuel pump in it. So we put the new fuel pump in it, and so she got on it, and it quit, and the tire went flat. And, so my son and I said, yeah, you're not used to being here. Everything's like this. If you want to use the weed whacker, sure, you can do that, but first we have to fix it. If you want to use, no matter what it is, and we were working on the tractor because we have everything we need, but nothing works, and it's easy to get really frustrated and say, you know what, well, we should just buy a new one. Now, of course, that would require money to buy a new one, but then again, the new ones aren't as good as the old ones, and then the proof of that is we have a 54-year-old Cub Cadet that was my dad's as well. And when he passed on, I got his two Cub Cadet lawnmowers. Well, the new one, the 12-year-old one, is a piece of junk because it's made with substandard parts, in my opinion. The old one, the 54-year-old one, the tires still work. The point is, we could say, yeah, a new one would be better, and it probably would for the very, very short run. But in the long run, that's not the case. And I believe that you and your husband think the same way because you buy a lot of things used, but you buy quality, or you try to buy quality. Is that right?
Yeah, we do. And we also tend to pick up a backup. So we probably have two weed whackers. We have a really nice one and one that could work if we have to. We try to have replacements when possible. But yeah, we get the opportunity to fix lots of things. But that's the other attitude you get to. Like with my children, they love me. But anyway, I say, okay, I'm going to let you mop the floor. Oh, Mom, I don't want to mop the floor. I said, well, that's okay. I'm going to let you do it anyway. And it's really not an option. Or I'll say, you get to go out and do whatever. You know what I mean? But it is an attitude, okay? It's a I can do this, it will work out attitude, as in like another kind of humorous example. We drove a little Geo. They're very tiny little cars, but they get like 45 miles per gallon. And our two sons were visiting, and they need to ride to town with us. They're both 6 foot, okay? So we let them sit in the back seat. And I said, oh, don't we feel so cozy back there? And they're like, yeah, Bob, this is really cozy. But you could say, are you squished and cramped, or are you feeling cozy? And it gives you a whole different attitude.
I think... Yeah, Sharon, I think that's why you and Mrs. Finelli get along so well. Because she has a positive attitude about everything. The glass is always half full. It always is. And what a great day, what a great day. It can be pouring and snowing. What a great day. And that's how she looks at it. And I believe you're doing the same. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
All right, listen up, because this is the most important thing you're going to hear all day. What if I said you could make money flipping houses without any cash, credit, or manual labor? And what if I said you could do it part-time from the comfort of your home? Sound unflippin' believable? Hi, I'm Preston Ely, and I'm going to prove it by sending you a free copy of my smash hit selling book, How to Get Rich in Real Estate. It sells online for $19.95, but I'm giving away free copies this week. To get one before they're gone, call 1-800-959-9582. I used to be so broke. I had my electricity shut off 9 times, but I figured out a simple way to make money flipping houses without even breaking a sweat. Now I'm living the good life, and so should you. Listen, if you're sick and tired of stressing about money, this book could change your life. Hands down, it's the fastest, easiest way to get started in real estate. Let me prove it. Call right now to find out how to get your free book. When they're gone, they're gone. Call 1-800-959-9582. 1-800-959-9582.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
A good stove is at the top of the list for any serious survivalist. That's why you have to see the full range at emberlit.com. Simple, elegant, but extraordinarily efficient. Available in titanium or stainless steel, the Emberlit line of stoves are ultralight, pack flat, and work great. Fueled only by sticks and debris. From emergency situations to long-term survival, Emberlit stoves are up to the task. Emberlit, the most convenient, easy-to-carry wood stoves on the planet. See them all at emberlit.com.
Their husband and family, and she's an expert in many things, including canning. And I was talking with Joey in Michigan, one of our instructors, before the broadcast this morning, and we had a chance to chat, most days off the air, and he had a question for you, Sharon. He said he has heard pros and cons about canning pork. Is that something? Can pork be canned?
Well, I've done it. I actually can. Well, I can the ham hocks, you have to use a wide mouth jar, and they're fantastic. And throw them with some beans you've already canned, and you could eat them soon, but if you simmer them like 20, 30 minutes, they just catch that flavor. It's really good. And then I've taken ham and just used it in casserole. Excuse me?
Okay. How about sausage?
You can can sausage, but have you heard of Jackie Clay in Backwoods Home? She has some good ideas. I did take some deer sausage, mind you, made patties and canned them, but they got really dry, so I personally would put about 1/4 of an inch of water in the bottom, just a little bit, not very much, so that it would create moisture. My dogs loved them because they were too dried out, and they thought that was the best dog treat ever, but you can do it. She has some information. She has a really good book out called... Starting over, because she's done homesteads a few times. I was going to suggest we maybe discuss how we go about using this mindset. If that would be
sure. Sounds great.
I was going to make one comment. We actually, I believe, are created to be creative, inventive, and overcome. If you look at little children, they're always making things. They're trying to jump higher, climb higher, spin faster. They like to put things together, and I think a lot of people have lost that, and people could look at getting prepared and living a prepared life as drudgery, and hey, there are some drudgery things, like I told my kids, life isn't all fun, okay? Some things just have to get done, but there is a lot of satisfaction at accomplishing goals and making things, like we've really worked our tail end off, especially my husband, because I have to be in town 3 days a week. But we have done a ton by setting a goal and then taking the first and second and third step. And because he has a lot of health issues, and I dealt with this crazy fatigue that hit me that's getting better, we have to do it in stages. So we might work half hour, 45 minutes, and we take a 15-minute break. But you know, at the end of the day, you've got 4 or 5 hours of work done. And when you're talking about your concrete blocks, I had to laugh because I start a lot of projects like that. We, for years, have been off-grid, so I've had to do dishes by hand. And because I'm in town a fair amount, they get this mountain of dishes, and I'll say, well, I'm just going to wash the plates, okay? And you got to end up doing all the dishes because I started with the first step. And we have a bunch of concrete blocks, too, that we were going to make beds with, but we realized we didn't have enough to make enough beds, so we used the wood, and now we're putting the concrete out there. But we didn't have time to set up 3 beds. We were just too tired, but we thought, well, we'll just set 1 bed, you know. So we did 1 bed, and now we've got 2 more to go. But it's a I can do this and then pace in it mentality. But what I was going to say is my favorite or most common things I've been told is I don't have any place to put food and supplies, and I don't have any money, okay? And I'm looking at these people, and I'm thinking, we live on my husband's disability, and we've managed to do it, okay? And we raised 5 kids, and I've been staying at home. I homeschool, I do a lot of homestead stuff, you know, but we've managed to do it. So I realize there are a few people out there who probably can't do very much, but I do know that most people could do a whole lot if they just broke it down. So I was thinking, like most people think you need, you know, water, food, shelter, protection. And so for water, I think it's a really good idea to be able to get a water filter. But until then, you can go to almost any grocery store and you can buy gallons of water for about 88 to 93 cents a gallon. So for $10, you'd have 10 gallons. You know what I mean? People say I don't have any space. I'm thinking people mostly have a lot of space that they're just not using well. Or like under your bed, people have room in their closets, and you can actually put shelves up high. A lot of houses are, 7, 8 feet tall. Most people aren't over 6. So you can put shelves along the top of the wall. If you're really serious about doing this, you have to take the steps. And you can also look online and look at small houses and small storage spaces. You could get tons of ideas if you want. So I feel like if you really want to put food back, we got another music coming.
No shortage of commercials here.
Okay, I'll continue later.
Yeah, and I'd like to comment about that storing. Got no place to put it. Got a 30-second story I'd like to share with you when we come back. Sharon in Montana. We'll be right back.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Do you have dry hands or itchy, peeling skin? Are your cracked feet in need of a makeover for sandal season? Hi, my name is Diane Cook, the creator of Bee Spa Hand and Foot Cream. Bee Spa is all natural, 16% beeswax, marigold extract, and other essential oils and nutrients. Bee Spa is great for exceptionally dry hands and feet, but Bee Spa can be used anywhere on the body. I am sure you will see a difference overnight. Bee Spa is the only cream you will ever need. The convenient 2.5-ounce size jar travels nicely and a little goes a long way. Bee Spa Hand and Foot Cream costs $29.99. Use promotion code 101 for free shipping. Order Bee Spa Hand and Foot Cream today at beespa.com. That's BEESPA.com. That's BEESPA.com.
My computer is so slow, it's making me crazy.
I used to have that problem.
Did you quit using the computer, or did you buy a new one?
No, I called Geeks on Site. They made an appointment to visit my home and showed up the same day.
You mean they didn't ask you to bring your computer to a shop? That's what happened when I called a support company.
Geeks on Site can go to your home or business or even repair your computer online. They have 24/7 emergency service.
If you are having problems with your PC or Mac, call Geeks on Site, 1-800-591-1682. Our friendly certified computer repair experts are available 24/7. Call now for a free diagnosis, 1-800-591-1682. Data recovery, virus removal, and maintenance for all laptops, desktops, printers, and networks. That's Geeks on Site for friendly certified computer repair experts, available 24/7 over the phone or in your home or business. Just call 1-800-591-1682. That's 1-800-591-1682, 1-800-591-1682. 1682.
Think about this. Your community's aging water infrastructure systems are very likely to be contaminated with heavy metals like lead, disinfection chemicals like ammonia, chlorine and chloramines, and pharmaceuticals like statins, pain meds, and antidepressants. And no, water treatment plants are not equipped to filter these pharmaceutical toxins out. Protect your family's water supply with the trusted Big Berkey water filter. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show Big Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria, and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market, the gold standard in water purification, and our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Sharon in Montana is with us. And Sharon, in October, November of 2012, there was a massive storm, and it was a superstorm. It was Hurricane Sandy, and it was the second costliest hurricane ever to hit the United States. And one of our instructors' name is Brooklyn Bagwell, and she's the casting director for Doomsday Preppers. And I've met her. I've spent time with her at the expos. We've had 7 expos. She's been to 3 of them, and she and I have done about 5 one-hour broadcasts. And I asked her about the superstorm and what it was like living through this, and she said it was horrible. And she was, and I'm paraphrasing, her comments were about the police. They didn't seem to be very many of them. The traffic lights didn't work in New York City, where she lived, in a fourth floor walk-up apartment. And she and her a lady roommate found that, they found it very uncomfortable. People were leering at them, following them, and it just didn't feel safe in this dark city with no electricity. And I asked her about food and water, and she said, we had no place to put it in our apartment. There's just no place. There's no place to put it. Exactly what you were talking about. There's no place to put it. However,
I should come to her place.
after the storm, I asked her, what a case of bottled water cost during that outage, the power outage and the storm, the aftermath of the storm. She said 4 or 5 times what it would normally cost. And that's New York City prices. So I'm thinking what might cost us about $3.90 here in Missouri is probably like $30 or $40 in New York City, right? Because it all has to come in by truck, and there's only 7 ways in or out of New York City. Bottom line was, There was no place to have any of this prior to the storm. But after the storm, they found some room under the beds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We actually, people used to live in very small houses, okay?
Yes,
and
yes.
We're just used to having a lot of space, most of us. But, yeah, there are lots of ways to do things. You just have to get outside the box. You just have to think, be a little unconventional, okay, and be creative. Use that creative bent that people have. They don't realize it, a lot of people, but they have it. And, I'm thinking about the other thing is people say they don't have money, okay, and we've been tight. I understand that, but a lot of people waste a lot of money, or I don't know about waste. They spend money on things that aren't essential, put it that way. Like a lot of people like their morning latte. Now, a morning latte is nice, but say they're $4 a shot, that's $20 a week. Say if you don't want to drop them off, you just take the Monday morning one and you make coffee at home, and you will probably save at least $15 a week that you could put towards food or whatever else you want. A lot of people eat a lot of convenience foods. And I'm not saying we never do it. We do once in a great while, but we mostly cook from scratch because I've learned a lot of recipes that are very quick that you can put together within 15, 20 minutes, and I save a lot of money and I'm eating healthier. So that's one way to make money. A lot of people have stuff around that they don't really need that you could sell. We have Craigslist here, and we have what's called a mountain trader. It's just those little papers that go around. They have all the ads. And my husband has sold lots of stuff in there because when we moved here, we didn't need some of the farm equipment we had, or he even had these really nice boots that just weren't fitting as well as they used to, so he sold them for a couple $100. I mean, they're really high-end, and he has other boots. But it's kind of looking around, what can you get rid of that you really don't need? And a lot of people have stuff like that on hand. They don't even realize it, and it's just a matter of looking around and doing it. But if you don't have things to sell, then you can always just start cutting back on your budget. Like some people love to go out and eat a lot. And you could maybe say, well, instead of eating out, we're going to have some friends over and I'll make a simple meal. And you'd have more fun and you would save a lot of money. So I feel like if people start getting creative and thinking about it, they can accomplish the goals. And then you figure out what you want to buy for food. And there are all kinds of books out there. I mean, I like Holly Dale's book, Dare to Prepare, and then Matt Stein had a book on when technology fails, and you can get those at the library. And by the way, I want to point out another favorite asset of mine, which is a library. Now, I know you can go online and you can find all kinds of cool stuff, but if you go for, say, looking for recipes, and you go to the library and get a book on saying how to cook with beans and pasta or something, you won't just find a recipe, you'll find out a whole other group of ideas of things you could do that you would have never thought of because you're looking at the book and it triggers, oh, I could do this or I could do that. So I'm not opposed to going online. I've actually done it once in a while, but I actually like to get the books because they show you a lot of other things that your mind would not have thought of. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it absolutely does. And I like books better than reading on the screen. I really do. Mm-hmm. And if the electricity goes off, it's not a big deal for us. We've got LED lighting in the kitchen. We haven't deployed it throughout the rest of the house, and I can just open up a book, and I'm good for like years.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of books too, but I think that they give you ideas that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise. Okay, but you don't have. I mean, people say, "Well, I can't afford books." I'm thinking, "Oh, fine." I tend to. My philosophy is I go to library. I'm sorry, forgive me, let you go.
They can't afford books. You can go to Goodwill. You can go to, and I'm sure you have, Joey has, I have. You can go to yard sales, garage sales. People can't wait to get rid of books. It's like please. I went to a garage sale, and the woman said the books are 10 for $1. But you have to take 10. And I said, well, that's easy. That's easy.
Yeah.
So I bought 3 huge boxes. I mean, as much as I could carry in each box. I just said, how much was this? I didn't negotiate with her. I asked her how much the price was. I paid it. It was like, I don't know, maybe $3 or $4 for, no, maybe $10 for all the books I could carry. And she was just delighted that I was dumb enough to buy these books.
We've gotten great deals at garage sales. But you do need to have a focus of what you're doing when you go to garage sales, or you'll bring a lot of stuff home that you don't need. But I get great deals. I mean, I love garage sales. But what I was kind of getting at is I use the library a lot. And I get almost every book I've ever wanted. I probably can get about 90% of the books that I've wanted to get at the library, read them through. And some I think are worth owning. And then I'll go see if I can get them used or someplace and, even buy them new. I bought Holly Dale's book new because it was worth it. But you can actually get a lot of resources at the library first, and then you can decide whether that's what you want to put your money into or not. And that's kind of how we do it, because we're a snug budget. That's all there is to it. Notice, I say snug. Because people go, I just don't have any money. I was like, well, we're on a snug budget, okay, but there's a way of working this. And that's kind of my whole gist with this whole survivor thing. Survivors figure out how to do it, and they don't say, I can't. They say, how can I? That's the whole thing. And then they don't just say, how can I? They make a plan, and they take the first and then the second and third step, Because I have talked to tons of people, and they're super nice people, but they're not doing anything, and I feel like they feel like it's too big. And you just break it down to small steps. Like, right now at our Dollar Tree, I shop there some, not mostly for food, but they were doing a drive for the food bank. I could buy 24 ounces of spaghetti for $1, and then they had a can of spaghetti sauce. So for $2, I provided the basic part of a meal for somebody. Nothing. Just $2, right?
Well, that sounds like dinner at our house.
I'm saying you could put that up. You could put that aside. Now, I haven't tried that spaghetti sauce, but I'm betting if you're hungry, it wouldn't be too bad, okay? It was a name brand,
Well, wait a minute. That literally sounds like dinner at our house. I mean, we don't waste a lot of money.
If you threw a can of vegetables in it, that's not too bad, The other thing I was going to suggest, in another take steps, even if you don't have a lot of money to put very much food back, and there's all kinds of ways to do that. I could spend forever talking about that. But people need to learn to cook. I'm amazed at how many people who don't know how to really cook. I mean, they think heating up a package of macaroni and cheese is cooking, making some hamburger helper is cooking. That is sort of cooking, but it's not cooking. And I would suggest that people who think they're going to live on stuff they have on hand actually cook with it. And you can check the Mormon website, and you probably can talk to a Mormon. I'm not Mormon, but they have a lot of information. They have a whole website with all kinds of ideas. And you can also get all these books at the library and everywhere. It's just a matter of doing it. But it's the same thing. Like, have you ever hopped on a bike and rode it right the right way? So if you cook it now and it's not a major success, no big deal. Most likely you can just haul something out of your cupboard and make it, something different. But if you couldn't get to the store, it would be a lot more devastating if you ruined a whole meal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then my other idea on the whole food thing, because this is all stuff I love to do, I think people should practice making things like biscuits, muffins, and bread. You can't go to the store and get bread. It tends to be a staple for most people. You can make sandwiches and, all the stuff that we tend to do with bread. And it's really not that hard, but there is a learning curve on that. They have some real simple breads that you just basically mix up the dough, put it in a pan, let it rise, and bake it. And it's not bad. Or, your more traditional bread is you let it rise, punch down, and re-rise it, and then bake it, which tends to make a little better texture. But someone who's never done it should probably try it. And that's just one simple step that they could do, and it wouldn't cost them a fortune. So,
Mrs. Finelli will buy flour at Sam's Club for baking bread. Mm-hmm. And I think it's less than $10 for 25 pounds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That will last. Well, and she has the yeast, and she buys it in these, maybe a 1 pound container of yeast. A little lemon juice, I think she uses, a little salt. And she can make bread. She has, I found a used bread machine for, I think, shipped everything. It arrived here, total cost $35, something like that. Mm-hmm. And it mixes the dough. She puts the ingredients in, hits one of these buttons, and it mixes the dough. Then she takes the dough out. And then she puts it on a pan, cuts it, and then bakes it in the oven. She doesn't make all the bread in this machine because she can make a better loaf of bread in the oven by splitting the process. And I'm thinking, how long does that last? That $10 bag of flour, 25 pounds, I'll bet you it lasts a couple months. So who's able to buy bread for $10 if you want to have it almost every day for a couple of months? It's impossible to do that in the store, but you can at home. Great point. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from IronEdison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of IronEdison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our IronEdison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at IronEdison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
The best kept secret in the firearms business is CDNNsports.com. CDNN Sports is the largest firearms liquidator in the U.S. We've got optics, accessories, gun parts, magazines, ammunition, and more. Sign up for our email specials today for the best gun deals, period. You will also be entered to win a Winchester 101 field shotgun. Go to Charlie, Delta, Novembersports.com. That's CDNNsports.com.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
There's nothing more enticing and intoxicating than the finest meat cooking on an open flame. Freeze-dried meat from newharvest.com is U.S. grown, 100% all-natural with no extra fillers. Just grass-fed beef and free-range chicken guaranteed to stay fresh and delicious. Add New Harvest freeze-dried meats to your current food storage. You'll buy direct from the factory, not a third party, ensuring the best price and the highest quality. See all our products at newharvestfoods.com. That's newharvestfoods.com.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
This is Dan Pillett. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Class, Sharon's with us. She lives off-grid in Montana with her family. And Sharon, I was thinking about what you said, saving money, not going to restaurants, just cutting out some of the lattes and all that. It absolutely makes sense to me, and that's how I live, literally. I've never had a Starbucks latte. I have no idea what the exact cost might be, but I have a feeling it's upwards of $5. And if I were spending that $5 times 5 times a week, $25, I'd be thinking, is this make any sense? I could buy a socket set or ratchets or wrenches or something that need a lot more than that instant gratification or that instant pleasure that I might derive from a cup of coffee in a disposable cup. It doesn't make any sense to do that. I did a quick check, and you and your family live about 1,100 miles from us here in Missouri.
Okay. Wouldn't
it be nice? I mean, I think the most fun things that we could do is you and your family and our family having, just if we were neighbors, wouldn't that be fun? I mean, can you imagine all the fun we'd have? And we could do it. We could have this fun for $2. And we could get that jar of spaghetti sauce, maybe throw in a quarter of a pound of chopped meat, make that, the gals could be in the kitchen, cooking if that's what they want to do. The guys would be at the kitchen table right nearby. All of us would be in the kitchen, and we'd be having a great educational, fun time. Mm-hmm. And you could contrast that with going to the Olive Garden, and it would cost us $200. Mm-hmm. It's not the place you go to, it's whom you are with.
That's true, and I think it's important to try to make connections with people because in times of harder times than we are where we're at now, it's connections that make the difference. Who knows where you can get this or that. It really does pay off. As far as the money-wise, for $15, if you were doing the Dollar Tree, you could have 10 meals. You could buy 10 cans of that spaghetti sauce and that 24 thing or so, 5 of those 24 things, and you'd have at least 10 main dish of the meal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's $15.
And I'd like to
one wouldn't want to eat spaghetti. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'd like to share how this starts. Your husband called me one day, and we were talking about off-grid, and he thought it'd be helpful if I had some additional information. So out of the blue, he called me up. He called me up off the air, and we were talking, and he helped me. And so he offered his assistance to me first. And then, a couple of years later, he had a question about a 6.5 turbo diesel Chevy truck, of which, I'm quite familiar. I've had most of the problems you can have with one of those. And he called me and he said he was thinking about, getting this truck. And so, I spent maybe an hour with him trying to share with him all of the things that went wrong and what to look for. So he was well prepared going into this should he decide to buy it. So somebody has to start it, Sharon. In many cases, many cases, I get calls here at the farmhouse from someone who's in class listening to the broadcast, and they say, "Hey, Vinny, listen, I heard you talk about such and such, and here's a great way to look at it, or a better approach, or here's what you can add to that equation." And it starts with them. They call me, and I go, "Wow, that's great. Hey, you want to go on the air?" And why would I do that? Because they have information to share. And that's how it is here at USA Prepares Class. That's how it is.
Success is motivating, though. If you do one thing, I've got a bunch of bushes I'm putting around the house because I like that type of thing. And this is the Rocky Mountains. Okay, so it's the challenge, digging it. But I thought, I'm pretty tired, but I'll just put one in. Well, one went pretty good. I'll do a second. Pretty soon you put 4 or 5 in,
Yeah.
You just start.
Pretty soon it's a raised bed garden.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're doing that for the garden, the raised beds. But
Sharon, we've ended this hour. I really, we did it.
I would just suggest people do something, okay? Just take a step and do something. It's motivating.
Sharon, thank you so much for being with us and sharing your enthusiasm. It's contagious, and I love it. Thank you
very much. Bye.
Class will be back with Kurt Wilson after the top of their news and commercial announcements. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Suffering from illness or disease? Frequently in pain? Overstressed? Always tired? The solution is to oxygenate your cells because disease cannot survive in an oxygen-rich environment. Introducing Vital Ion, the first mineralized edible oxygen in the world. Go to toolsforfreedom.com and get the Miracle of Oxygenation DVD free with any Vital Ion purchase. Call 800-770-8802. That's 800-770-8802. Let Vital Ion edible oxygen be your daily fountain of youth.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Hour number 2 of the USAPrepares.com. Kurt Wilson's with us. And we're going to be talking about frugal survival, frugal preparedness. Welcome, Kurt Wilson.
Hey, Vince. What's happening?
I'm delighted to hear your voice. You know, I want to share a story with you, Kurt. You've got the website Armchair Survivalist.com. And so you're ready for pretty much everything. And here was a challenge that I got a call from a gal. She listens to this broadcast. Her name is Deborah. And she has an account with AT&T, unlimited long distance. And she got shut down. She got shut down by AT&T on her cell phone because she listens to USAPrepares.com for, the broadcast, 2 hours. So AT&T said, you know what, we didn't mean that. We didn't mean unlimited long distance. We were just kidding. So you can't just call any number you want. Even though it's within the continental United States, you can't do that. So they shut down her phone. Now, I'm so angry with AT&T. I said that we should dump our AT&T cell phone plans because they're mean. And this gal is blind. They shut down her lifeline. So her challenge to me was, is there a better way? Is there a way that she can have text to voice, some of the nice features that she needs to get through the day with not being able to see? And so you and I were talking about how can we save money on cell phones and how can we be frugal and how can we just not spend like so many people do. I was installing some doors in our house, and I looked at what does it cost to install a back door, like a kitchen door? About $600.
Holy God.
Yeah. Well, you can buy the door from somewhere between $125, and you can spend more. I'm just talking about a steel door. I'm not talking about some exotic carved ebony, that's handcrafted. No, I'm just talking about a steel door. What many of us have in our homes. Well, about $600. Door plus installation. That's crazy. So I was thinking, how can the general public, how can we afford, to live with the things that fail, like a dripping faucet? We go, gee, we can't take that. We got to fix that. How much does a faucet cost to fix? I'll bet you to have a plumber come out and replace a faucet, several $100s. I'm thinking $400.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Well, Vince, here's the thing, and I tell people this on my radio show. Life is a participation sport. Okay, you have to actually roll your sleeves up and take a look at what's happening around you. Unless, of course, you're affluent and very wealthy, then you don't care. You just, like you said, you just call up a plumber. I was putting a bathtub in my bathroom, and it was a tight fit, and I've never done it before. So after about a week of me trying to get it drop down and fit, I called up 3 plumbers and said, how much would you charge to install my tub? The lowest was $900. $900. And
that's without the tub. That's without the tub.
Yeah, I had the tub.
Yeah, I know.
So I called a friend of mine who is a quote unquote prepper survivalist. He comes over. He looks at everything. He uses his mind, and this is the thing that people should do: is that you look at something, see exactly what it is. Then you extrapolate the data that you've accumulated your whole life. I know that's difficult in people nowadays in America, but you look back and you go, So this guy goes out to his truck, comes back in with it's called a sheetrock saw. It's a little hand thing. It's pointed blade, And he works about 3 minutes, and the tub just drops right into place. He goes, you owe me a beer. That was it.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
So you have to do a little. Yeah, I know. And it's just, you get a feeling of achievement. Leaky faucet, yeah, that simple. The best place for survivalists is yard sales.
Absolutely. We just finished hour number 1 with Sharon. She lives off the grid in Montana. She and her husband love yard sales. Joey in Michigan loves to go to yard sales and flea markets, and I do too. It's just that there aren't any around where I live. And it's great because you can find a lot of things that you need, but you have to know in advance that, I might need this, and then you buy it, and then you need it, right?
Yeah, well, it's magical. You're going to buy something. Like I bought, there was a box that had 4 brand new doorbell, the doorbell that goes in your house, the button on the outside, and a transformer. 4 brand new ones. I paid $1 for all 4 of them, and I stuck them in my shed. I know I'm going to need it. 10 years later, my doorbell goes out inside the house.
Right.
Guess what? I already got one.
Right. And how much would that have cost if you went to Lowe's or Home Depot, Saturday, and, it happens on a Friday, you go, okay, I'll go on Saturday, when I'm not
this exact one,
at work.
$65. $65.
Yeah. Right.
So I basically paid 25 cents for it. But, that's the problem. Like when I met my wife, this is decades and decades and decades ago, and we would go shopping, and I have a list that says mayonnaise. She reaches up and grabs the most expensive mayonnaise she can get. So the little jar, whatever the jar size is, it was like almost $5. And Angie, why are you getting that one? Well, because it's the most expensive, so it must be the best. So I started researching mayonnaise, and I discovered that the exact same ingredients, the exact same concentration, and the exact same quality was 1/3 the price. So from then on, we don't buy the most expensive. We find out what's good and frugal. And we have saved, let's just say, a lot of money in the 32 years, 33 years we've been together. And it's because you have to participate in your life. You can't just grab the coattails of life as it goes by you and let it drag you along. You hear that all the time.
That's a very good point. I was talking with There are a couple hundred of us at USA Prepares, instructors, you are, I am. And I was talking with one this morning, Joey, and I talk to him most every day. And we were talking about delayed gratification or doing without. And that's why we're where we are, and we have accumulated things because we've planned for the future, just like that doorbell, right? Just like the transformer. You knew you were going to need it, and you thought, I can have them. They'll be ready at the ready when I need them. And maybe I can use them for something else. And we talked about buying used. We talked about pre-dented, I don't have to have brand new. As a matter of fact, I really don't want brand new. I don't want to put that first dent in it, whatever it is, or have someone else put that dent in it for me if it's a vehicle. I got a new truck, brand new to me. It's a 2004. It's pre-rusted. It's pre-dented. It came with all the features that I know it's going to have later, and I didn't have to wait. They're all right there. The rust, the dents, and a couple 100,000 miles. I paid $3,000 for it. To me, it's my new truck, and I just love it. And that was $3,000. And so now because it's an older truck, I don't have to put all of that expensive insurance on it, because if it gets hit, it's going to get totaled. I mean, what could happen to it that's going to cost less than $3,000? Not much if someone hits it. So I don't have to have all this expensive insurance, and I can save money there, and I can save money on the vehicle, and it's great. It's really great. And I decided to buy new wheels for it. I wanted wider wheels. I found tires with wheels, Michelin, for $100 for 4. How can that be? How can that be?
All the time. I was at a yard sale last week. Now, I'm in North Idaho. We're 100 miles south of the Canadian border. We get ice, we get snow. What blows my mind is when we go to these yard sales, and my store is Survival Enterprises in Hayden, and we're always closed Fridays until 1, because that's when my son and I go to yard sales. 2 weeks ago, go to a yard sale, and here's 4 almost new studded snow tires, 16-inch snow tires, studded.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. Everybody's looking at him going, that's, yeah. No, there's no price on them. I will look at him, and I go, I'm in the market for a truck, and it's going to have 16-inch wheels on it. I don't know what truck it is, but it's going to have 16-inch wheels. So I go, how much you want for these? He goes, $10. I couldn't get my wallet out fast enough. So I bought them, $10 for studded snow tires. These are 6-ply. And I looked, after I bought them, I looked at the guy and said, what, we're never going to have winter again up here? and he goes, no, I'm going to put other tires on the vehicle. People don't think ahead. I see snow blowers for sale like crazy after winter. I don't understand.
Yeah, and they have engines on them, right? They have engines that you can use for other purposes.
Oh, you bet they do. I bought one of them for $10. It was it's got like a 1.3 horsepower Briggs & Stratton on top of it. It's only about a 1.5 wide snowblower, but the thing looks brand new. But the guy broke the pull cord, so he couldn't test it for anybody to prove it ran. I gave him $10. It runs perfect.
Yep. Class, I've got a suggestion. If you buy an older machine like that and it hasn't been run for a while, I suggest you remove the spark plug and spray some light oil into the cylinder and lubricate it, and then slowly crank it with that rope. And if you don't have the rope, that's no big deal. You can buy a piece of rope for, I don't know, $2 and rebuild that pull starter with a new piece of nylon rope for a couple dollars.
And one other thing, if a motor hasn't ran for a while, the guy said, I haven't had this thing running for a couple of years. Take it for granted the gas is bad. Pour it out.
Yeah.
And put new fluid in there. Yeah.
Absolutely right. And you can clean the carburetor with spray carburetor cleaner. You can get a Chinese factory outlet, Walmart, and spray it in there and clean that out, take the bowl out, and, it just might work just with that simple procedure. And we've got Justin from Kansas calling us, and he'd like to talk about, I think, water filtration. So, Justin, just hang in there, and we'll be with you right after these few short commercial announcements. Kurt Wilson's with us. Armchair Survivalist. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
By now, you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Did you know a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, you might not sleep so well. But now, SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs, and it's completely hands-free. For a limited time, you can try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-900-0684.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean destroys CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs with no hassle. Never have to clean your machine by hand again. There's no water, chemicals, or disassembly. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto, your CPAP system is clean and fresh in minutes. Call SoClean.com to try it risk-free at home for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer, only available by calling 1-800-900-0684. That's 1-800-900-0684.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Kurt Wilson's with us. His website, armchairsurvivalist.com. Justin in Kansas, welcome.
Vincent.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You can hear me okay on my speakerphone?
I can. And so can
really cool.
Kurt Wilson.
Vincent, I've listened to you for about a year on YouTube through a Ron Gibson channel. And very, very impressed. But anyway, we were looking at water filtration systems through Alex Jones and various places. But we live here in Leavenworth, Kansas. My name is Justin Call. Got a son named Clay Call. So we were doing a little thoughts about prepping and stuff. And he's on vacation for a couple of weeks. And I told him, I said, why don't you just get in your vehicle and run out there to Vincent's farm and pick your water filtration system up. So it probably doesn't even, you probably don't even have them there. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, we do.
the reason I called in, to tell you that I'm very, very impressed with your radio program, and we'd like to purchase one of the large Pro Pures.
Okay, it's really easy. All you do is just go to usaprepares.com, and if you click on the shop, SHOP tab, you can buy one right there. And I don't really talk about this, but what I try to do is I try to send out a coffee mug with each one that says USA Prepares on one side and the network GCN on the other side. I just put that in there, and so if we don't have the item that you have if it's not in stock, that very one that you want, we'll ship the mug out separately. And I've got several mugs I need to ship out. Probably go out today or tomorrow. But and what we do is we think that they should be discounted, but we're not allowed to discount them. The price is fixed. It's got a manufacturer's suggested pricing. And so what we do is we sell them at the same price as everybody else, except we offer an instant rebate. So I was one thing that we try to do is we don't want anybody to be unhappy with some of our whatever we do. We don't want them to be unhappy, and we don't want them to say, I should have gotten this someplace else. I could have gotten a better deal. We never want that to happen. So we do our best to make sure that that doesn't happen. And one of the ways we do it is with an instant rebate. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I was at an event. It was like a group meeting, and there was a speaker at this group meeting. And the speaker was talking about his book. And someone in the audience said, and I was there and I'm watching this, and someone said, well, how much is the book? And he said, $19.95. And it's okay. And you can get it, on the internet. You can buy it at the big outlets. I don't need to mention them. We all know these booksellers. And so about 15 minutes later, a guy says, so how much is it tonight? Meaning, how much is it for us, your captive audience, who came here to see you? He said, $19.95. Now, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that because why isn't he giving his friends and family a break? Why not? I don't get it. I mean, I really don't get it. Why isn't he giving his very best deal to people he's spending time with right then and there? Why not? We do. So that's kind of a, I was thinking of having this guy on the air. But you know what? He shot himself in the foot because he wanted that extra margin. So I just wanted to share that with our class. Kurt, how do you feel about that?
Well, you get these guys that make their living off of a product they develop. And they'll go out and do lecture. I've seen this all the time. We've been at Vince. I don't know if you know this, but we've been in business over 30 years.
Yes,
you can't point at a prepper or survival product that I can't tell you the history of. Mm-hmm. And I see these people all the time do this. They come up with this idea of something, and then they start doing the self-promotion or multi-level marketing even. And you have to pay to go to some of these seminars, and then they want you to pay retail, which you could buy the book for on their website or on somebody else's website. So I know exactly what you're talking about. But then again, now you have Amazon and you have eBay. So you go look on there and you go, my God, that guy's book he wants $20 for. I can buy for $9.95 on eBay.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's not right. People don't have a lot of money.
Sounds like you're with me on that. Justin, anything else you'd like to share?
Yes. The only other question is whether or not there's any possibility of him taking some vacation time and driving out to...
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
Kurt Wilson's with us. Justin in Kansas. Justin, you called in. Did you have something else you'd like to say?
Yes, I have a further request or question as to whether or not that I could bring my son, who's about 26, and my wife, possibly, in the next whenever, month, 2, whatever, and just come up to take a look at how somebody actually prepares for some of the calamities that are coming. and then
Sure.
we'll just purchase the larger ProPure online because we've gone
I would say,
online
I would say if you want to buy a ProPure water filtration system, you can just buy it online. Just go to usaprepares.com. And the reason is there's no tax if you're outside of Missouri, so it'll save you money, and shipping rates are very low, and we bundle it in anyway. So the price you see is the price you pay, and it's lower than everybody else. So, yeah, get it online. And as far as coming to the farm, we'll make that happen. My phone number is on the website, usaprepares.com. Just give us a call. And Hay's coming up, so Hay is a big event here at the farm.
I got you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, when it's hay season, I got to tell you, it's a lot of fun for the first 10 minutes.
I bet it is, yeah. Look, I've listened to you for a very, very long time. Not years and years. I don't know how long you've been on, but I want to give kudos to Ron Gibson on his YouTube channel, because it's right there alongside of Alex Jones. I'm just very, very impressed with you as a person and your courtesy to me. And I want to thank you for taking my phone call. And we will get that water filtration system ordered. And I'll give you a call in a month or two when the haying season is down. And I appreciate everything. Thank you very much. See, we may have went off the air before I said anything, because we're not on here. And the same thing happened before. Remember?
ArmchairSurvivalist.com. And we have this listener, one of our class, and she's blind, and she said, what can I do to have an affordable alternative to AT&T? She's furious with them. They trashed her. They shut down her phone service because she was listening to USA Prepares. You know, it's something that she enjoys doing. She listens to other programs. And they felt, you know, she didn't need to do this. This unlimited long distance that service that she bought, that really wasn't what they're offering. They say that's what it is, but they're just kidding. So they shut down without warning her service. What alternatives do we have as frugal survivalists? What can she do to have a phone? Being blind, she'd rather have a tactile phone where she can push and feel the buttons, rather than a smartphone where you can't tell the difference between the buttons because they all feel the same. You have to have vision to do that. So what do you recommend for this lady so she can have unlimited long distance and listen to USA Prepares and other programs of her choice?
Well, first thing is you have AT&T, you have Verizon, you have the big backbone companies, and they have their own stores. And if you remember Saturday Night Live, the phone lady, she would do a commercial, and she would say, we're Ma Bell. We don't care. We don't have to. That's basically the way AT&T is. You know, you have individuals there who say, yes, we care about you, and we'll take care of you, honey. Just come on in. But they don't. They're major corporations. Let me tell you what I discovered. I was a master gunsmith for 25 years, and I've had to carry around a security phone so that I could be alerted at any time if somebody tried to break into my shop. My phone was AT&T, and I was getting 900 minutes a month. And I had to roam. I mean, when I roamed, I paid long distance. I paid all kinds of stuff. And my base rate was about $100 a month. And then Walmart came on the scene. And then they started to advertise certain phone systems through them. They have Total Wireless, Straight Talk, Family Mobile, T-Mobile, Virgin Mobile, Boost Mobile, Metro PCS, Net10, TrackPhone, Cricket. There are all of these other companies all of a sudden. So as I always do, I research everything down to the final degree. And I discovered that all of these companies now are renting backbone on AT&T and Verizon. Straight Talk. So I decided to go to Straight Talk. $45 a month, true unlimited, no roaming, no long distance, and the phone cost me $110. You buy your own phone. And there's two ways to use most of these. These are called pay-as-you-go plans. You can go in, if you want it anonymous, if you want to be anonymous, you don't want to have your name on the phone and the government tracking every time you make the payment. Then you go in, you buy the phone, pay cash for it, and then you buy these cards. And these cards give you 30 days, 60 days, 6 months, 1 year, or whatever of service. and you scratch off the number. You go to their website. You input your phone number there and the number there of the card, and boom, your phone's reloaded. And that's what I was doing for Straight Talk. $45 a month, unlimited. And that's with one of these so-called smartphones, the ones that idiots use. So that's, I got done with that. I don't need a smartphone. All I want to do is say hello and goodbye. So there's another system now instead of Straight Talk. Oh, and by the way, Straight Talk, I was on the AT&T system at $45 a month, unlimited, no roaming, no nothing. So I went to Total Wireless. For $25 a month, on the same phone, I'm getting unlimited talk and texting. And that's all I wanted. Can you imagine $25 a month? If somebody told me that 10 years ago, I'd tell them they were full of it. And you can buy the phones. Now, what she wants is going to be one of these flip phones. And you realize you can buy a flip phone at Walmart, or even Home Depot now is selling them for $10. Mm-hmm. And these are the tactile buttons that are on them. There are a lot of different options out there. You do not have to get stuck signing these contracts. Now, again, my phone, this phone that I have now is still what they consider a smartphone, but I made it stupid because it does nothing but hello and goodbye and texting. It cost me $30. $30 for this phone. And I pay $25 a month. And I use the cards because I want the anonymous aspect of it. If you don't care about the anonymous aspect, if you don't want to go in and buy these cards, then you go in, talk to the guy there. I know most people don't like using Walmart, but you gotta make hay while the sun shines, so to speak. You use what's there to your advantage, not to their advantage. Mm-hmm. You go in and you talk to them and you say, "This is what I need," and they will put you to wherever would be the best for you. A flip phone she could pick up for $10 to $20. She can get on the Total Wireless system, which, per my research, is the cheapest. Don't get conned into these infomercials you see on TV about these special phones for seniors. Those are screw jobs. So you get the Total Wireless. You're going to pay $25. In fact, I think it's down to $20 now a month for unlimited talk. And you can have them set you up using your bank system, your bank account, and they will draw the money from your bank account monthly. So you don't have to mess around scraping the cards if you don't want to. But if you like the Intelligence Committee concern in the United States, they consider these burner phones throwaways. Because anybody can buy them, anybody can load them up, anybody can talk on them covertly. Nobody knows who you are, and then if you get violated, if somebody finds out who you are, your security is blown. You just throw the phone away, burn it, throw it in the garbage, take out the battery. So these are all over the place. You do not have, and just because it doesn't say AT&T or Verizon doesn't mean they're not using AT&T and Verizon for the backbone. They are. So it's the same company, basically. It's just the front end are different employees. The back end is still AT&T or Verizon, depending on where you live.
Let's add another component to this, Kurt Wilson, ArmchairSurvivalist.com. One of our instructors, Bert Bertonis, lives in California. He's a radio frequency engineer. He also has several patents. He's a brilliant engineer, designer. And he was hired to figure out what's going on with these knockoff cell phones. And so they gave him a phone. They said, this one's being knocked off. Here's the one that is the knockoff. What's going on? So he gets the microscope out. He gets the magnifying glass out. He looks through it through a loop, and the tool marks are the same. I mean, they're virtually identical. And he's trying to figure out how this is possible that the phones, the knockoffs are so good that they're like exact copies of the original. And the U.S. companies are furious. They can't figure it out. Well, here's what he determined. He determined that in China, where these phones are made, the first shift, the Americans are there and they're supervising the production and they're watching everything. And then they go home, at the end of their shift. They're like regular employees. Americans just, 5 o'clock, I can't stay. It's like it's a law that they have to leave. And they decide that they leave their employment for that day and come back the next day. Well, while they're not there, while the American supervising team is not there, the second shift starts off. And they make the same phones on the same production line. It's just the Americans aren't there to supervise. So the reason they look identical is they're off the same assembly line. It's just they're not being watched and counted.
This is the thing that gets people. This gets people confused on many products. There's a radio out there. It's a shortwave radio. It's called a Voyager. AM, FM shortwave, crank power, solar power, USB plug. I mean, it's got all the bells and whistles, and it works really well. I know the owner of the company that manufactures this in China. The company's called Kaito. And I told him when he sent me samples years ago of all these radios, I'm saying, well, this looks like a Sony that I have right here in my shelf. And he goes, oh, it is. If it comes out the right side of the building, it's called Sony. If it comes out the front, it's called Panasonic. And they're just different names on them. And I said, oh, and CC Crane, same thing. And I said, I don't want a name. He said, okay, I sell you with my name, Kaito, on it. And that's what I have. That's what we sell. In fact, Alex Jones sells it also.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? So if you'd like to go to visit the website, armchairsurvivalist.com. There's a link on usaprepares.com, page 1, as well as listed under instructors, the instructors tab. Kurt Wilson's with us. We'll be right back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Worried about lead, fluoride, and other contaminants in your drinking water? Purchase a ProPure system during the Crazy May sale and get a free ProMax shower filter or water filter pitcher. Remove up to 200 contaminants with the Pro 1G 2.0 truly cleanable, reusable filter. We don't stretch our claims, we just deliver performance. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
The best-kept secret in the firearms business is CDNNSports.com. CDNN Sports is the largest firearms liquidator in the U.S. We've got optics, accessories, gun parts, magazines, ammunition, and more. Sign up for our email specials today for the best gun deals, period. You will also be entered to win a Winchester 101 field shotgun. Go to Charlie, Delta, November, Sports.com. That's CDNNSports.com.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
Vaping enthusiasts, head to vaporpalace.com. Choose from over 150 flavors and a selection of exclusive private stock vapor liquid you won't find anywhere else. New flavors are added every month, and our customer service is unbeatable. Vaporpalace.com offers 15% off all vapor liquid on Fridays and get 10% off every order with coupon code VAPOR10 at checkout. Combine the codes on Fridays for 25% off. The ultimate destination for the vaping enthusiast. Vaporpalace.com.
You know, Kurt, I don't know if you've ever heard me say this, but, you know, sometimes when I introduce a new instructor, I'll say the following, but you've been on the air, so it doesn't apply today, but I wanted to mention it because I'll tell you why in just a second. So I'll say, you know, for those of you new to the class, or about 200 of us here at usaprepares.com, experts in various areas, all of us are innovators. We are medical doctors, dentists, engineers, surgeons, CEOs, broadcasters, editors, researchers, authors, physicists, farmers, and inventors, and students rising to become instructors. None of us is capable of holding down a job, and none of us takes direction very well. And Kurt, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that describes you to a T. Is that correct?
In 1980, I was a computer design quality control engineer for Hewlett-Packard. Mm-hmm. And that was the last job, quote unquote, I had in my life.
1980?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quit that, and then decided I wanted to be a gunsmith.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happened to me in the 1980s as well, and that was the last time that I worked. Actually, it was 1989. So I have a couple quick questions for you. Your website, Armchair Survivalist, where did that come from?
Well, the thing is, okay, my company is Survival Enterprise, and we've been in business well over 3 decades. And we specialized in the beginning in firearms, collectible firearms, firearm training, long-term storage food, supplies and stuff you would put aside. Now, this wasn't a let's get into this and make money type stuff. I was raised this way. I grew up on the Klamath Indian Reservation. I'm quarter Cherokee, blood brother to the Hopi and the Yaqui. So we learned how to stretch a nickel from when I was a kid. I mean, I was given 3 .22 short shells and a single shot Stevens on a Saturday, and my grandpa would say, now go out and get dinner for tomorrow. I got 5 bullets, and that's what I did every week. So the idea of preparing or survivalism, I grew up with. And people would come all the time into my store, and they would want to know questions about this and about that, and how do you survive this? What should I put aside for this? How would I do this? And I would tell them, just common sense to me, and it would astound me that these people didn't know this stuff. And a very well-known writer, friend of mine. In fact, I'm in his first book. I helped him start his blog. He would bring me his firearms to work on, and we would talk extensively. And he'd say, I never see you out doing all of this stuff. You're like an armchair survivalist, aren't you? I go, yeah, uh-huh. Been there, done that already. And when I started my show, and I've been on the radio, I think about 20 years now. When I started my show, I couldn't figure out what to call it. So they just called it Kurt Wilson Live. And my intro music was On a Wing and a Prayer. Mm-hmm. If you ever heard that song, mm-hmm. and now it's from Creedence Clearwater, Bad Moon Rising. But I took that. I said, so he's telling me that I'm just an armchair survivalist. Yeah, what the hell? So I went with it. And my logo, you go to armchairsurvivalist.com, you'll see my logo on the left-hand side. That logo was sold to a woman drew that for me. I didn't know who she was. She drew that logo. She'd never seen me. She heard one of my shows. It was a show on how to silence a generator. And she drew that logo, and I told her, I can't take it for free. Well, I got to pay you something. She goes, well, give me $100. Turns out she's a lead writer for a New York magazine. And so that's a $10,000 logo on there. But we help people. That's company survival. Find the link on armchairsurvivalist.com.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Join me, George Norrie, at Joshua Tree, California, June 3rd through the 6th for the Contact in the Desert UFO Conference, a weekend of exploration into ancient aliens, human origins, crop circles, UFO sightings, and new evidence of ongoing contact. Featuring Graham Hancock, Giorgio Tsoukalos, David Wilcock, David Childress, Doc Wallach, and Eric Von Daniken, and so many more. For information, go to contactinthedesert.com, contactinthedesert.com, or 760-365-8371.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.